Ideals like peace, freedom, and justice, they get packed up, but we can all go home. Well, I'm not going home. I'm gonna get on my boat, and I'm going upriver, and I'm going to kick that son of a bitch bison's ass so hard that the next bison wannabe is gonna feel it. Now, who wants to go home? And who wants to go with me?
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 342. Before we start the show, we want to thank all of our wonderful fans who have supported us. And if you want to show support for the Rated G network, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/Rated G for Gamers. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Rated G for Gamers. And finally, please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. We appreciate all the love. I'm your host, Dave Rotino, and this is my co-host, Dan, the podcaster formerly known as Classic Robinson.
What's going on, man?
Oh, big things going on in the Rotino household, Dan. I am assembling the robot army. And what I mean by that is I am getting
the Transformers. You got Transformers in your house?
I got Bumblebee. I got Jazz, I got Optimus, I got the crew. I even got like Grimlock and all the other dinosaur Transformers. Listen, I'm good. We going deep, baby. I even have the GoBots hanging out. All right.
So when I come to your house, your refrigerator is just gonna transform and like hand me a beer.
Oh, well, that's the next step, man. I'm thinking about getting the new fridge. Wait.
As a side note, do you know like they really have like a Optimus Prime that like you say, hey, Optimus Prime transform, and it transforms into like Optimus Prime?
Oh, for real?
Yeah, no, they do have it. I was watching CNET, and they have two versions. They have like a huge version. And they have like more of a smaller. It's not mini.
Okay.
I think they call it the mini, but it's like it's still big.
Yeah. Probably like a 1/8 scale or something. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking like the big one costs like $1,000.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah. I would say at a bare minimum, I'd say like $10,000. Is it? I think. Well,
I'm saying the big one costs like $1,000 or $1,500 or something like that, and then like the mini one still costs like $800.
Was this at CES 2023?
No. It was at CES. I was just watching CNET clips.
Yeah.
I saw a clip from like 2 years ago or 3 years ago, something like that.
Okay.
So it's been around for a while. It's been around for a while. I'm gonna say 2 years just to be safe.
Oh, wow.
Around for like 2-3 years maybe.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So they do have it. So you can have the truck and you just say Optimus Prime transform.
And it transforms.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, I don't have anything that fancy, but I did order some new blinds. I'm getting some motorized blinds that what?
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm getting some motorized.
Well, I was saying we went from Transformers to I got some new blinds.
They're smart blinds, Dan. They're smart blinds. I'm getting it all hooked up. It's going to work with my system. I use Alexa like everyone uses Alexa, but I also use this thing called Home Assistant, which is like a specific OS for home automation and smart devices and whatnot. So you can do essentially any integration you want. Given you're willing to get your hands dirty, right? So some stuff can be like automatic. It'll find stuff and you can do some simple stuff with it. But you can get like real crazy if you want to start programming some stuff, you do some YAML coding and it's not too terrible, but you can get pretty much any device to work with any device. That's a smart device. And if it doesn't, you can write a plugin that'll do it and interact with whatever API is there. But I don't need to go that crazy. I think they have an integration for it already. So I'm just gonna, I'm gonna set it up. So basically, I guess sunrise every day that I'm home, The blinds will automatically raise up. It's going to be nice. These are vertical blinds, not the side-to-side horizontal ones, right? Which are okay in certain instances, but they're not great. They bump into my subwoofer and the cables. And it's just annoying. If I had a vertical one, I could just position it so it stops right above those cables and it doesn't cause any issue. But the real thrust of it, because these are expensive, the real thrust of why I got it is my cat fucked up the ones on the right-hand side. So there was like a giant tear, and I'm like, well, that's it. I'm getting them now. So making it happen.
Nice. Your cat forced your hand.
Yeah, pretty much. Hopefully he doesn't ruin these new ones. I will murder that cat. Kidding. But I will be very angry if he messes up the new ones.
You're just going to come home and the cat tilted over your TV. It's like, all right, it's time for a new TV.
Oh my God.
It's time for a new TV.
That thing's mounted to the wall. If he manages to get up there and take it off, I'm just going to give him a round of applause because I'll be like, damn, you've been working out.
He's like, yo, I'm trying to force your hand to upgrade your stuff.
Yeah, right. It's like, hey. It's like, I want this, but I mean, my bank account says no. My body says yes.
Your
right?
cat says yes.
Yeah, my cat's like, no, you got to get some new shit. I'm like, ugh. So anyway, I just thought
all the cats are gonna unite like in the cartoon or the animated movie.
Right.
Animals are gonna unite.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
it's like somebody's holding out. And they're like, I'm not going to buy a PS5 yet. And they're just going to come home and their PS4 is just like shattered into pieces.
Oh, no.
Like, yeah, we're forcing you to get a PS5 because you need to upgrade.
That'd be funny.
Okay.
Make for a good comedy skit.
It does. Right. Let's get the show back on track. We have an awesome show this week. Coming up, we're going to talk about, is Microsoft raising the price of the Xbox Series X console?
Uh-oh.
And more, listen, WATA has more controversy in the news.
Double uh-oh.
So before we get into any of that, let's begin the show with Google Stadia confirmed the exact day it will be shutting down.
Oh, countdown clock has started.
It will be permanently shutting down January 18th.
Okay.
At 11:59 p.m. Pacific time. Okay.
So
this show comes out. Well, this show comes out on the 17th, right?
Show comes out every Tuesday.
Yeah. So so if you listen to the show when this comes out, you have until tomorrow to play Stadia,
right?
Because that's when it will be officially done. And just to remind everybody, Google will refund anybody who's purchased games or content from the actual Stadia store. Right.
That is the best move. That's the appropriate move. But it's the best thing that they can do.
And any hardware purchases are eligible for a refund as long as you bought them from the Google store. And
you I'm assuming you have to return the hardware, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not going to be useful anymore. Why would you want it unless you want a very expensive paperweight? So.
I still have my Ouya stuff. I bought that after they shut down, just as a collectible.
Ouya's still playable though, right? Like Stadia won't be playable because nothing's.
I don't know. I mean,
yeah, because the games are on the system, right? They're not in the cloud.
No, I thought they were kind of streamed to the system.
Actually, I don't know, but I was under the impression there's a hard drive on there. You install them locally. Now, if you wanted to like download them from their store, like their store's probably shut down, you'd have to find a way to get them on a memory card or whatever the storage is. But I don't know. I guess I'd have to look into it.
Now you're gonna make me dust off the Ouya.
Yeah, we have to figure this out, Dan. We gotta figure this out.
Yeah. So listen, rest in peace. But I mean, there are other options. I mean, you have Amazon Luna. You got Microsoft, right? In their clouds.
There is another option, and that's the Microsoft, Game Pass or xCloud or whatever.
Yeah,
I guess the cloud gaming, Microsoft Cloud Gaming.
Yeah, and then. I have a PS Plus subscription, and any PS3 game you have to stream, which I've had no issues. I've had no issues with so far.
Okay. Okay. I meant to ask you about that. Wow. Well, I'm glad they worked that out. I guess they have local hardware running some sort of emulation thing or whatever. Couldn't do it locally on the PS5, which. is surprising because there's apparently a very good PS3 emulator that's making the rounds online for like Windows. I don't know if it's been ported to Linux or Mac yet, but I'm curious if Sony's looking into doing that, or if they're just like, we have the solution, it's cloud streaming, it works, it's fine enough.
Yeah. You know what sucks though? Mm-hmm. Anyone that talks about all of this, man, I feel sorry for the people who bought Stadia from Best Buy.
Oh yeah, right. You know, what are you gonna do? No. Hey, they got a good 2 years out of it. They played a lot of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and well, that's about the beginning and end of it.
All right, so the all digital future is coming.
Yeah,
it's coming, right?
I know.
Like it's like the meteor that's coming. Right?
Oh,
we know it's coming.
Yeah, that's the extinction level event for us. We're the dinosaurs apparently.
Yeah, as we get older. And it's more apparent of how big the games are getting. Right? They're just getting bigger and bigger. Now, Forspoken is a game exclusive, console exclusive to the PS5, coming out January 23rd, I believe, right? Like, I was big on this. I was really big on this. I really was excited. I said I really wanted it. It got delayed until January. The demo came out last year, and I was kind of I was like, I'm still gonna buy it.
Okay.
I'm still gonna buy it. But my excitement has sort of been drained a little bit, right? And hearing the file size for this game has definitely started to drain my excitement about this. It is 87 gigabytes at launch. Okay?
Yeah.
Right? Think about it. That's bigger than God of War Ragnarok. That's bigger than Horizon Forbidden West.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I've been kind of railing against this, that developers just, I don't want to say give a shit. And maybe it's not the developer's fault. Maybe it's the publisher's fault for trying to push and get these games out by these, quote unquote hard deadlines. They don't have enough time to optimize and the whatever else. But I wish they would spend some time to do that, because 87 gigs. Let's round it up to an even 90, right? That's almost 100 gigs, right? It's a tenth of a terabyte. The hard drive for the PS5 is the usable size, 825 gigabytes, right? So it's like, I don't know, 85% of a terabyte or whatever of space that you have available. So you could put, how many of these games on the hard drive before it goes bust. You get maybe 8 AAA games, maybe. If it's Call of Duty, a lot less, because I think the last Call of Duty was like over 200 gigs, which is insane when you download like everything for it. That's insane. They have to do a better job of optimizing. And I like what Microsoft does with their smart delivery, right? You get the assets that you need for your device. So if you're on a Series S, you're going to get lower texture quality, and you're going to get the specific things that are going to be used for the Series S. And that's supposed to be helpful a little bit. Same with like the old Xboxes, right? The One and the One S and the One X, right? You'll get the appropriate textures, and that's it. And then everything else, like, you won't get. So you don't get like 3 different versions, right? Just in case you know. Just to be accurate. The PS5 has 825 gigabytes of usable storage.
Of storage.
Yeah.
667 gigabytes of usable storage for games.
Oh, so it's even less. Oh, right. That's right. 825 is the total, and then you get less than that. I thought it was a terabyte, and that's right. Okay, so it's even worse. It was like super specific. It was like 825. It was like, why didn't you just make it 850? Right.
Like 825 and then like 665.
Yeah, I don't know. They're trying to save money and the whatever. Like, I get it, I guess. I guess this is a point in the win column for streaming, because there's no downloads really, right?
Yeah.
You get the convenience of not having to wait for it to download and take up hard drive space and whatever else.
Just hope nobody else in your house is watching Netflix as you're trying to stream.
Yeah. Right. I mean, if you have a good enough router, you have a good enough internet connection, you should be okay with like dual streams. Now, I forget, did you get any of the like SSD expansion or the like direct drive storage for the Xbox? Did you get those? No. Okay.
I didn't spend the 300 to the 200 and 300. No.
215 all said and done, or 219 for the one Xbox one from like Seagate, which I ended up buying and is like super helpful because it like doubled the storage. So it went from 1 terabyte to 2 terabyte, and it acts essentially the same as the internal storage. That's the only way that you can run Xbox Series games on an external device is with that direct drive storage. If you hook up an external like regular hard drive via like USB 3 or whatever, it's only used for storage. Or to play Xbox games, older Xbox games, I think you can play off the hard drive. So this doesn't really like affect me until games are like 100, 150 gigabytes. Well, Call of Duty is 200 all in.
Like Cyberpunk was around there, right? Cyberpunk was like 120 gigs or something.
Cyberpunk was a lot. Yeah, I think it was about $1.20. Yeah.
Like I do routinely go in and delete stuff that like I'm like, oh man, I still have Little Big Planet on here. Like, why do I have that? I'm not going back to that. So I'll delete. Like, I usually go in and delete stuff. I'm pretty good with deleting stuff off the hard drive. So until they say, hey, you still have YouTube on here, if you delete YouTube, you can download the game. Then we have a problem. But yeah, I'm pretty good with deleting stuff, so I really don't have an issue with that. I'm just like, it's getting big, like Forspoken. This much, really? Like, how open is this game? It's supposed to be an open world game. How open is this game?
Sure. Well, you're gonna get a lot of time out of it, probably. Hopefully. Well,
hopefully, I don't know. I thought this would be like a sleeper hit for the year when it was supposed to come out last year, right? But now I think I don't even know if this would be considered a hidden gem. I reserve judgment until I play the game in 2 weeks. So we'll see.
Okay, fair enough.
Dave, as we always try to start the show but epically fail, what have you been playing?
If we didn't do this, Dan, the end of the world, this would be another extinction level event.
This is the first for the year.
That's right.
This is the first for the year.
That's right. If we didn't miss the mark on this, I would say, what's going on? I don't know. Everything's upside down. Well, I do have to say that I am playing a game that I'm going to call this a hidden gem. I don't normally say that. There's this game, and I'm not going to get into it too much because this is my Saturday morning retro game, but I have been playing Vanquish on my Series X, but it is the OG Xbox 360 experience. I want to get as close to the bone as possible, and so I've been playing that game, and it's very interesting. I'll say that, because I thought it was one type of game, and it's actually a little bit different, but I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So playing through that. It's a Platinum Games game for people who don't realize. All right, this was back when Platinum was making games for other systems. So that was kind of interesting to see. And you see some notes of their other games for sure. But I'm also playing Vampire Survivors on the PC. Because every time I load Steam up again, there's always a new update. And now they have DLC, which is awesome, which I got for like $2. They added a ton more new content. There's like new characters. There's a couple new maps that you can play. Bunch of new items, weapons, synergies. So good. And I am, I'm going to say playing with an asterisk. It's more like struggling. Struggling with God of War Ragnarok.
Our game of the year.
That's right. That's right. I love it. There's not a knock against it. It's just when you play on like hard mode or better, or hard mode or the super difficult mode or whatever it is, you really have to like wait for your opportunity and parry and dodge and then get in. You can only get in so much. Like you gotta really balance that out. So
you gotta have patience, and I mean, this is what you like. This is how you love playing games. Right?
I mean,
you
yeah,
love the extreme difficulty.
Yeah, I'm almost at the point where I may drop the difficulty because I do want to like make progress, and I'm in I think I'm in Alfheim fighting those like light creatures, right? The ones that like fly around. They're like a kind of ethereal. And they have the weird, like, horns on their head. You know what I'm talking about? They're real thin.
Yeah, you're still pretty early in the game. Okay.
Well, I'm hitting some roadblocks, Dan. Hitting some roadblocks. So.
I can tell.
Anyway.
So I've been, all right. So again, promoting Saturday Morning Retro. Right? It should be out in another week or two, right? So we haven't actually,
last Saturday of every month, unless we miss the mark.
Yeah. So I'm playing Torque Prehistoric Punk on the OG Xbox.
Wow. Okay.
I don't think this is on Games Pass, so I really had to dust off the OG Xbox. So I'm playing it on OG Xbox with the S controller, not the Duke. I'm playing it with the S controller because it is a platform.
It's much better. It's much better.
It is much better.
Yeah.
So I won't talk more about that.
Okay.
I'll talk more about that in Saturday Morning Retro Show. Shredder's Revenge, TMNT, Shredder's Revenge is out exclusively through Netflix Mobile on your phone. So I downloaded that. Yep, I downloaded that. I've been playing a little bit of that.
Wow. Yeah. That is a game that I would 100% play on my mobile device via the Netflix games store. 100%.
So
I would do that.
So how they do it is it's its own app. You download it and it'll ask you to log into your Netflix account. But if you already have it on your phone, then it automatically just syncs. So and then you can play it.
The app in this case is like just the game. So you get the game and then it'll Okay. Wow, all right.
Correct.
All right. That's actually pretty smart how they do that. Yeah. And it plays well? Does it, you have stuttering?
As well as no, the game plays as well as you can play a game with, without actual buttons, and it's a touchscreen, touchscreen buttons.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And they have multiplayer or no?
I don't know. And I wouldn't know that because that's something I wouldn't even try.
When you see it when you're in the menu, it's just got to be an option. There's got to there's nothing that says online.
My brain automatically erases that.
Wow. You got that Black Mirror chip installed, right? You just it blocks out.
It just blocks out. I automatically delete it. Either erases. Yeah. So if it says multiplayer, I just see a shell. I just see Splinter. That's it. So I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think I'm gonna. It was more of a novelty for me. I just wanted to try it out.
Curious. Well, I'm gonna definitely download it after this and see what's good.
Well, something you should download after this is Sonic Frontiers demo for the Switch because I've been playing that as well.
He's making a campaign, folks. Are you getting campaign contributions from the DNC to promote me playing Sonic Frontiers because your campaign is going strong.
Well, listen, I gotta pay the bill somehow.
Yeah,
it's extra income. You got them down. Listen, it's okay. It's Dave. It's your favorite thing in the whole wide world. It's called free. All right, it's free.
I love free. Well, who doesn't love free? Come on now.
It costs you nothing.
Oh, I love it. All right. You know what? When I go out a little bit later, I'll make sure to preload it on the Switch. I'll give it a whirl.
So the only downside to the demo is that it's actually a timed demo instead of you get the first world type of demo. I love it. I love it when it's here, we're gonna block off some sections and you can just be here. Right, like that better because you could be in there as long as you want to perfect the moves and stuff like that. Again, if you listen to the last episode, Saturday Morning Retro, where we talked about our top 3 gifts, Christmas gifts of all time, right? And I said, gaming wise, I said I loved the sample disc that came with the PlayStation because I played the heck out of it. Right, I played hours and hours of it. Imagine if they only said, all right, you can only play this for 15 minutes. That's a bummer. I miss the demos where you could play as long as you want, right? You just can't really advance in the story, or you can't advance to another level. So that's the only downside. It's a timed demo for 15 minutes, but the good thing is it starts when you actually start playing a game, not when you're in the menu. So that's okay. That's the only
all right. Well, that's a little bit generous. All right.
I've been playing Ridge Racer 2, which was exclusive to the PSP.
No, you have to say it like Kaz Hirai. Ridge Racer
2 it was exclusive for the PSP. I've been playing it on a PS5 because I'm a PS Plus member. you know, it's okay. It's a game I want to try on the PSP actually to see if it's any better, like actually playing on the PSP and not like on the big screen all pixelated and you know, sort of weird controls because I have all these buttons that don't work. And then finally, I've been playing Killer Instinct, the definitive edition, on my Xbox Series S because I needed something to download, and I forgot about Killer Instinct. I mean, the top 5 like fighting game like franchises / styles, they all different styles of all time: Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Killer Instinct, King of Fighters, and Tekken. Right? Like, people forget about how good Killer Instinct was back in the day. It was like the third pillar, because I think Killer Instinct came out before Tekken. So it was like the third pillar in the fighting game world, right? It's like
Killer Instinct, I think, awesome. They were right around the same time. Yeah, 94, 95. I think Tekken was 95.
Well, Tekken came out exclusively for the PS1, right? Where Killer Instinct was exclusive for the SNES, which was before the PS1.
Oh, well, I mean, the arcade releases dropped a little bit. But
oh, okay.
Yeah. But I think you're definitely right about the console stuff for sure. Yeah, that's right. It was a Super Nintendo game. And it was funny. They're like, and I remember reading Nintendo Power, and they said, Killer Instinct is actually better than the arcade version because the characters have shadows. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
It was impressive with what they did. You know, they did do a lot of really cool stuff on it. And they kept, I think they kept the fatalities intact. They managed to get all the characters in there and the boss character and all that. I mean, it was really cool, but it was definitely a downgrade from the arcade.
I just, you know, I know Microsoft / Xbox. They're trying to buy every company right now. They're trying to buy companies.
Doing their best.
They have dormant franchises that they need to focus on.
Oh, sure.
Like they really do. They really need to cultivate a team to, because Rare is off doing something else, right? Like Rare's doing, they're working on other games. Like, just cultivate a team and hey, these are fighting game experts. These people worked on Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter and Guilty Gear and King of Fighters. Put them together and have them make like an ensemble, like Killer Instinct with Gears characters, Halo characters, maybe Perfect Dark. Deep cuts. Even Banjo-Kazooie is like a joke, right? Like, come on. It's right there, and they're not taking advantage of it. So, that's my little rant right there. So, okay. Why don't we take a break? When we come back, we'll get into the top gaming news of last week. And we're back. All right, Dave, let's get into the top gaming news of last week. And we have to start with the big news coming out of Ubisoft.
Oh.
They've officially delayed, again, for the 6th time, Skull and Bones. And canceled 3 unannounced games. Which, if you're keeping score, since July of last year, they've now officially canceled like 6 or 7 games, right? Because they canceled Ghost Recon Frontline, they canceled Splinter Cell VR, and they canceled 2 more unannounced games last summer. So so it's about 7 games altogether they've canceled. And
I forgot about Splinter Cell VR.
Yeah. Well, the point is, I mean, the biggest news is, remember, Skull and Bones was supposed to come out and be the trilogy of Skull and Bones, Sonic Frontiers, and God of War Ragnarok in those 2 days.
Yeah.
Well, after this announcement, their stock prices just plummeted. So if you want to buy some Ubisoft stock, this is the time to get it while it's cheap.
You know what all this says to me? It's buyout time, baby. Somebody's gonna get in there. They got good properties. They got great licenses. The IP is 100%, and I don't know what's going on. I guess their financials aren't great. Maybe the games aren't doing so well. But this is like a chance for Sony or Microsoft to step in and buy them up. They're
blaming it just on the state of the industry. I mean, just quoting them from a press release. This is all released in a press release. Major challenges, in the gaming industry continue to shift towards mega brands, long-lasting titles that can reach players across the globe, across platform and business models, right? So over the last few years, the strategy has been to build long-lasting live games, adopting our strongest franchises like Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Tom Clancy games like Ghost Recon, Rainbow Six, and Division to converging trends to make them truly global brands. That hasn't worked.
So to put that in normal speak, microtransactions suck and people aren't buying them. Because Assassin's Creed Valhalla had a lot of that. The Division was all about that, and their live service games aren't doing as well as they would like to. And it's all dependent on reoccurring transactions, right? You're buying all these little things, materials, whatever, skins, this, that. That's what kind of propels the game forward and allows it to be a live service game, right? And if people aren't doing that, it's just not going to work, right? And if your business model is built around that, and the games are built around the budget is what the budget is, they'll go, we'll make it up on the back end with all the DLC and microtransactions, and they're not doing that. Like, they need to reevaluate how they gauge their games, the success of their games, and how they budget for those games, right? Like a game like God of War, right? There's no microtransactions, right? There's nothing, right? It's a completely single player game, right? You download it, you play it, everything is in world. I don't think you can buy like extra crafting material or anything like that. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so either.
Yeah. Yeah. And even if you could, let's go ahead and take a game like Spider-Man, right? Spider-Man, completely single player experience, did very well for Sony, right? The Last of Us, single player experience, did very well for Sony.
Well, I will say,
yeah.
Well, I will say two things just to that effect. Like they definitely want that. They charge you full price for these games initially, right? So it's not like it's a live service game. You go in, it's free to play, and you can buy content, right? That would sort of make a little bit more sense, but you got to spend the $70 or $60 for the game full price. And then on top of that, buy stuff in the game, right? Like me and you bought the Division. The game itself, played together. We bought the Division 2, played together, but we never went back in. We never bought extra guns, skins. We never did any of that stuff.
No, it wasn't. It was better than the first one, but still not amazing.
Yeah, and then secondly, they are blaming sales on just sort of a single player experience as well, because Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope didn't sell as well as they wanted to. Okay, it didn't hit their projections, so they are blaming low sales of games in 2022. So just as a caveat to what you're saying, as far as with their whole business model, they did put out a single player game and it didn't do so well because Dave didn't buy it. You're contributing to the problem of Ubisoft, Dave.
I mean, listen, the game's got to be good, all right? I'm not just going to buy things to buy things.
So Hope is good. Sparks of Hope is a good game.
Sparks of Hope is a great game. I am planning on buying it. I just need to finish my other games. I need to finish Tactics Ogre before I get into another tactics strategy game on my Switch.
Dave. They wanted you to buy it in 2022.
Well,
they wanted you to buy it
I'm sorry. You know what? It'll be okay when Sony buys up Ubisoft. They make a race for them, and I'm gonna bet money that that's gonna happen. All right, because
you know what the interesting thing is, if anybody buys them, Microsoft or Sony, right? Like, is Mario plus Rabbids gonna be on Games Pass or PlayStation Plus?
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that series would be dead. That series would officially be dead. But they did sort of say that this year will be 2023 into early 2024 will be an important year for the company. They did tout that they have Assassin's Creed Mirage coming out and Avatar, the new Avatar game coming out. Plus, yeah, but that'll be dead. The series will be dead at that point, right? Like they won't. I don't think Mario.
Well,
I don't think Mario will ever be on an Xbox system or a Sony system, even through these means.
Oh,
So.
well, that's a licensing agreement between Nintendo and Ubisoft. So no, they wouldn't be because it's a Nintendo product, or it's got Nintendo IP involved in it. So yeah,
No,
but they could do like
we'll see Halo plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, or Kratos in Rabbids Sparks of Hope.
Right,
We won't see a third one.
Right.
But look, not all is lost. Not all is doom and gloom for Ubisoft. They did say this year is a big year for them. Okay. Well, this year going into the beginning of 2024, early 2024.
Okay.
They still have Assassin's Creed Mirage coming out. And they have the new Avatar game coming out. And they have 2 unannounced games that are also going to be released.
Are you like excited for the Avatar game at all?
So I'm not excited for Avatar game.
Okay.
I'm sure they're happy that the movie is doing well, right?
Sure.
Potentially push sales.
It's going to be the top grossing movie of all time. Even though the previous one, the original Avatar, was the top grossing movie of all time until I think Avengers Endgame beat it out.
So they did something petty. So Avengers Endgame beat it out, right? And then
they re-released Avatar in the theaters.
They re-released it, and they put it. I think it was in China. They re-released it in China. A movie that's been out that was a decade old. They re-released it in China to reclaim the
number one
biggest
spot.
Grossing, the number one spot.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. I hate that first movie. It's terrible. It looks pretty. That's about it. Everything else is stupid.
I don't think it was terrible. I mean, the game was bad.
The game was on the Wii. I mean, come on now. Yeah, I think this new game, it could be cool, but just not interested in the property at all. It's just very uninspired to me. I don't know.
Well, the last thing we saw of Avatar, the new game, it looked pretty good. Like I was kind of interested, but there hasn't been any hype for it lately. Right? Like we haven't seen anything since the first time we saw it. We just know that it's still in development. So I think we need to see some more. We need to see more of it. Right? Give me some plot. What's the point of the game? Right? Well, give me some more gameplay, and maybe I'll get hyped for it. Who knows?
Yeah.
But Ubisoft could be primed for a takeover unless something turns around, right? And keep an eye on this. If Microsoft buying Activision doesn't go through, they may pivot and try to scoop up Ubisoft, which, by the way, I would say I would be more inclined for that because we could get a new Splinter Cell game and it would be exclusive to the Xbox. It would be just like the old days.
They need to put out a new Splinter Cell game. What are they doing?
So, all right, let's shift gears. Let's talk about WATA, your favorite company, your favorite grading company in the whole wide world.
No, VGA for life. Sorry, they're the OGs.
All right, so I just want to see you throw up the VGA hand signals.
Do they have? Oh, I wish.
I don't know.
What would it even be?
Put a bandana. I want you to put a bandana around your head and throw a VGA.
Oh boy! Oh, throw it up! Gang signs now. Yo, who you with?
I want you to get a tattoo on your chest that says VGA for life.
Oh my God, no.
That would be awesome.
Oh my God.
All right, so WATA's in the news again. Apparently, WATA graded a reproduction cart of Castlevania Rondo of Blood back in 2016. Okay, they found an eBay list. Somebody found an eBay listing for it, and the person on eBay wants $3,900. Okay?
Yeah, well, let's go ahead and call it an even $4,000. Yeah, $4,000.
Right, they want $4,000. They want $4,000. Right, but there has been an update since I actually posted the story and we did sort of a rundown on the show. There has been an update. WATA has issued a statement admitting to the mistake and trying to correct it by getting their graded case back from the owner.
That is the correct statement. I doubt they will get it back because this person knew what they had. They knew what they were doing, right? I mean, there is the chance that the person didn't know and that they got duped, but they got duped by somebody further down the chain, right? Somebody sold it to them. And they thought they got maybe a really good price on it, had this sealed version of it, and then they're like, I'm going to get this graded. All right. I'm gonna go out and say that this person knew what they were buying and wanted to get it graded to increase the price, and then kind of sneakily throw it up on eBay, thinking people wouldn't know. It's like, oh, it's graded by WATA, right? Obviously, they checked it. Obviously, I mean, it's in this lab. It's got to be real, right? And the other thing is, like, they ain't gonna get this case back. They ain't gonna get this case back.
Well, I will say. It's weird how someone figured out that it was a replica. It's like, if you look at the case, it has like little inside flaps on the side, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's like two little inside flaps on the side, or sort of indentations,
Mm-hmm.
which the original case did not have.
Wow.
So that's how they were able to spot that this was a replica and not an original.
Now, well, go ahead.
No, that's it. That is like it's just. I thought it was interesting how they can like. The person easily spotted, like, yeah, this isn't real.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But WATA was fooled.
Well, when you're at that level, on like either side, grading or buying, right? Collecting or selling or whatever it is, you should know these things, especially with high ticket items. If somebody's reproing Super Mario Brothers, which there are, I mean, there are people that are, you can find some bad fakes out there. Unless they're doing that, for these high ticket items, you have to do the work. You have to know. You gotta be trained. We talked about GameStop taking in trade-ins that were repros and fakes, and they didn't realize it because they weren't trained properly. Like, you should know at that level. Like, I would know looking at this, right? But there's things I would look for. I'd look for label quality. I'd look for incorrect logos or badges that are in the wrong spot or like that don't fit, any like number of those things with like, a bad reproduction or even a decent reproduction. You should be able to look at it and go, yeah, this is fake. Right. And then
the thing is somebody said, all you get to do is Google, the original and compare it and see that it's obviously not real. That too.
You always want to get a reference, right? For anything you're looking up, you're looking at an article, right? And it says some weird stuff, like double check, right? You're looking at a video game. Okay. Double check, see what the other pictures look like. Yeah. It's crazy. That's crazy.
All right. Let's shift gears. Let's talk about Microsoft. Xbox, Bethesda, right? We were just talking about them. If they don't get Activision, maybe Ubisoft is an option. But until then, we have to deal with what they got, right? And which is a lot. We haven't heard anything. They weren't at the Game Awards, surprisingly. Like, that was like a shocker for everybody. But they did announce that they will be having a Direct. And I know what you're going to say, Dave. You're going to say Directs are exclusive to Nintendo. Not anymore. Because Microsoft's new showcase is called the Developer Direct, and it's coming out January 25th.
Was it
noon Pacific time?
Did it? It used to be called Inside Xbox. Is that what their things were?
Well, no. So this is going to be a little bit different. So Inside Xbox was sort of like their premium show.
Okay.
Right? This is called the Developer Direct because the actual developers will be talking about the games.
Okay.
Right. I think this is going to be less of like a flash, like Inside Xbox was like, again, like a premium like show with a lot of flash and pizzazz, where this is going to be more of a deep dive, right, with the developers. Okay. So they did announce the games that they will be talking about. They will be talking about games that are coming to Xbox, PC, and Games Pass in the next few months, outlining the Elder Scrolls Online, Forza Motorsport, Minecraft Legends, and Redfall. And they did preface by saying Starfield won't be at this event because they are working on a dedicated, proper sideshow that will get its own event where you get a deep dive from the Bethesda Studios developers. Right, so it's going to get a standalone event at some point.
I think that makes sense, right? You don't want to let anything else get in the way of your big, like, this is the game for Microsoft this year. All right.
I still think it's going to be delayed until the end of the year.
That may be. We haven't heard any announcements of any like coming out even in like Q1, Q2, Q3. I was assuming like March or April, maybe May at the latest, but I think you may be right. You know, they still want to they want to put the polish on the game. All right, you only get.
I think they want to stay away from May. They want to stay away from May because
sure.
May is Justice League. Superman Kill the Justice League, right? That's coming out, and then you have Zelda coming out, right? Tears of the Kingdom. So you want to stay away from those because those are going to be, the big games for May, right? And then if this is sort of like a game that's going to take you a while, it's going to be continuing. It's not going to be in and out, right? You're going to be. They have over 1,000 different planets to go to. You don't want to put this out right before those games because you don't want anybody to stop playing your game to go play those games. They may not come back. So this is, and you got Street Fighter coming out in June. Right, with E3 and all that stuff. So I think if it's not going to come out in March, just keep it until like September, October, right? Just screw it. Just September, preferably September, where you're out of the range of the Call of Duty, which you may own at that point. Who knows?
Maybe. It's a possibility. Anything is possible then.
So I look forward to this. We needed something, and I wish they would have had just a little bit of Redfall or maybe Forza Motorsport because they had to know that they're going to do this, at some point in January, right? Back in like December. They should have had something at the Game Awards. I'm sorry. I don't think there's an excuse. They should have had something.
Right.
But sticking with Xbox, looks like the Xbox Series X console is getting a price increase in India. Don't worry. If you're in America, North America, Europe,
I was getting worried there.
Australia. Yeah. But as reported by Indian analyst Rish Alwani, Microsoft increased the price of the Xbox Series X console in India to $485 American dollars. If you do the conversion. And it took effect back in January 10th. Microsoft has yet to provide an explanation of why they increased the price in India.
Well, I mean,
as of this recording, they haven't commented on it.
Yeah. I mean, it's all about production costs and whatever else. They're having some issues with it, right? They're not making the money that they thought they were making. Supply line issues, like, yeah, I get it. 2020 certainly threw things for a loop. And that is still reverberating through the industry as we see here with the chip shortage and all that. So it sucks. It sucks that it's almost and granted, it's whatever the currency of India is, but it's like almost $500 equivalent, right? That's the price of a Series X. That's crazy for a thing that's like half the power of a Series X, maybe like 2/3 the power. It's a little bit, it's a little bit less than. Damn. Like it kind of reminds me of the crazy situation down in South America and how like Sega came to be and how they're still producing Genesises and Master Systems, I think, because of the crazy import tax down there, right? It's just so hard to get consoles into the country without paying like an exorbitant fee for them.
They still get new Master System games, which is crazy. And
it's
nostalgic for them. They love it.
Yeah. It's Tectoy is the company that like handles all that stuff. It's wild. But I don't know. To produce anything in like Brazil, I think you have to partner with like a Brazilian company, right? It's like China, right? In China, if you want to put something out in China, you have to partner with like a Chinese company, right?
So it's like sort of similar to that. Yeah. Well, listen, this is not surprising, right? The only difference, remember, Sony announced that some regions would get a price increase, so they sort of wanted to announce it ahead of time, right? Where Microsoft just hasn't said anything. They just raised the price in India. Like they said nothing. It's like there's no hoopla, there's no outrage because no one's saying anything really, right? It was just like a blimp on the radar. Maybe Sony should have just did that. They should have just say, "Hey, yeah, sorry guys."
Just kind of stealth increase the price.
Yeah. So I mean, think about it. Just think about it. Sony announced early on that games for this generation will go up to $70. Everybody went crazy, right? Sony increased the price of the PlayStation Plus subscription, and they have different tiers, right? Everybody went kind of scoffed at the pricing, right? Sony said, "Hey, we're gonna have to raise the price of the consoles in certain regions." Everybody went ballistic. Mm-hmm. Microsoft, a year later, Microsoft, yeah, we're going to $70 too, right? No one said anything because it's the norm, right?
Well, you don't want to be first out the gate. You don't want to be the first out the gate with bad news.
Sony took all the backlash for it, but Microsoft followed suit.
That's right.
Phil Spencer announced that, hey, Games Pass is probably going to get a price increase in 2023. Nobody said anything.
No, they were probably playing a game of chicken. Like who's gonna drop the ball first?
yeah. And then Phil Spencer said last year, yeah, we're not raising the price of the consoles. And look, now the price of the consoles are being raised.
Oh yeah, of course. It's kind of a shitty maneuver, right? But that's what you say, and then everyone's like, oh, this is a really good company, and then they go and flip it on you, and like, nope, sorry.
Yeah, Microsoft has done the same thing as Sony, but Sony gets all the backlash, gets all the fervor from everybody. Right?
I know. Oh, tough game.
All right. I like to end the news with something weird, something crazy, something corny, or something scary, something interesting. Just sum it all up. And
which one does this fall under?
This falls under interesting and delusional.
No, okay. All right.
So Prince Harry, I don't know if it's an interview or if he's working on his memoirs. This was an excerpt or something where they took a quote from Prince Harry, where he says, days after his birthday, for his birthday back in 1997, he turned 13, and he got a gift from his mom, and he ripped open the wrapper in the box, and he got an Xbox. It was an OG Xbox, and he was so happy he got it from his mom. Yeah, well, look, his mom, unfortunately passed away in 1997. This is
right? Princess Diana, right? Died in a fatal car accident from trying to get away from some paparazzi. It was a terrible story that came out about that.
However, his Xbox didn't come out until November 2021, but that was in North America. It didn't come out in Europe until March of 2022.
Oi. Or 2002, you mean?
2002. Yeah.
There's a little 5-year difference there. He may be getting a little up there in age. Maybe his brain's not as coherent. Maybe those synapses aren't firing as good as they should be.
Well, let me clarify. So he didn't. This was a present from his mom that was given to him for his birthday, but she had already passed away. So it was she had passed away in August. Right. I remember it was the summer. So he got this for his birthday in September. She had already passed, but it was a gift from her that they gave to him. So
I'm gonna posit another theory. Princess Diana was a time traveler. She used the TARDIS. She is one of the doctors. All right. She went forward in time, picked up an Xbox, brought it back in time for Prince Harry. And there you go. That solves that. It's the simplest answer.
So I'm gonna say he's confusing two memories.
Right.
Where he was 13 in 1997. So 5 years later he was 18 where he got an Xbox, right? Or some people are saying that, he got a PlayStation, but I don't think it was a PlayStation because he's mixing up two consoles that look similar. And what was a console that came out that was out at the time that looked similar to an Xbox? Sega Saturn.
It would be the Saturn.
Black,
yeah, it would be the Saturn.
All black. It was a little bit it wasn't as big as the original Xbox, but
it was a little chunky.
For the time. It was a little chunky for the time.
It was a little chunky.
So she could have gotten him a Sega Saturn, and he just sort of, blimped out of his memory for whatever reason. It was something similar, but he mixed those two memories up. So that's what I think is more plausible.
Yeah. I mean, you may be right. You may have just, he also may have just, he may have just had a flub and misspoke. He could have just he meant this, but he said this. Yeah, which kind of ties into the oh yeah, I remember getting an Xbox from my mom back in. It's not quite.
I know, but the internet people. The internet, they were all crazy trying to.
Internet's on point. They know. Sorry, Prince Harry. That story doesn't check out.
They went crazy. They went crazy. Xbox fans on the internet went a little crazy. How can you get an Xbox? It wasn't out for another 5 years. What are you? Did you get a prototype? No, you didn't. You can't get a prototype. There were no games for it.
Well, I don't know. I mean, the royal family's got some hookups. You remember when we talked about the golden Wii?
Oh, yeah, that's
thing?
right.
Right?
Yeah, but they didn't get that 5 years before the Wii came out.
Well, no. They also refused it. Is that right? Did they say no? We don't want this? Yeah,
they did. They did refuse it, and it went on eBay. It went on eBay a couple of years later. Right?
Yep.
And we talked about it.
It's crazy.
All right, Dave. That's it for the news.
Mm-hmm.
You got any good weekend plans?
I gotta go get myself a haircut then. My hair's getting a little long.
A little wolfy.
Yeah, I'm getting a little wolfy. That's right. I'm turning into Michael J. Fox from Teen Wolf, right? Okay. Or Jason Bateman from Teen Wolf 2, right? But no, I'm actually going skiing for the first time on Monday. It's a holiday.
Have you never been skiing? Wait,
nope.
Dave Rotino, you've never been skiing?
Nope.
Ever?
Nope.
I don't believe that.
Nope.
I don't believe that.
Nope. Never been skiing.
Check his credentials.
We weren't really a snow family. We were more of a beach family. So I spent a lot of time at the beach. Did a lot of beach activities. Never did the skiing. So I'm excited. Hopefully I don't break anything.
I've been skiing and sledding and ATVs. Yeah, I did all that stuff.
Wow. Okay.
When I was I would say early 2000s, right? Mm-hmm. Still before the Xbox was released.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, right. Just you're trying to get the memory right, the timeline.
Yeah. I'm trying to get. I don't know if the PS2, the Dreamcast was out already.
Dreamcast was 99. Yeah, I mean, if it was past September, the PlayStation would be out in 2000.
Yeah, this was. I think this was early 2000.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This was early 2000. So the Dreamcast was out, just came out, right, a couple of months prior. Mm-hmm. So yeah, the Xbox still not out yet. The Rock didn't even announce it yet.
Oh God! So,
yeah. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm looking forward to watching The Last of Us series. It's coming out. It's coming out this weekend, right? Mm-hmm. When you're listening to this show, I've probably binged every episode, or binged a few episodes. It's getting good reviews. It's getting, all the episodes are getting 9s and 8s, right? People are saying that it's the best adaptation of a video game to a show. So I'm looking forward to watching it. I definitely want to jump into it.
Yeah. It's supposed to be really good. I know they changed one aspect of the video game to translate it to the
show.
Yeah. So the way the transmissions happen, they're getting rid of the spores that are through the air. And it makes sense because in the game, whenever you come across the infected areas, you got to put the gas mask on and walk through. And how are you going to have a conversation between these gas masks, right? If primarily you're around these clickers or whatever they are, I forget what they call them, the little spore creatures, right? You're going to be in gas masks for the whole entire show. It's just going to be terrible. So they changed that one thing, but I get it. Cinematically, it'll work a lot better. You won't have to hear them they're like, what? I can't hear you. So, yeah, man, I'll have to check.
Okay. So, but also, I'm looking forward to seeing how they expanded upon the story. Right? They didn't.
Oh yeah.
They didn't tinker with the main story and little details, but they did expand upon it where we didn't get. Right? How was Ellie? How did the Fireflies treat Ellie between when she got bit to when they were trying to take her across country to the scientists?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
I did see some clips online that obviously somebody wasn't supposed to post because they looked a little grainy.
Wow.
That makes sense.
Neil Druckmann can't catch a break, though. The first Last of Us, the second Last of Us, and the Last of Us TV show all got leaked.
All got leaked, right? Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay, this is super interesting. And how she felt, how guilty she felt, for her friend. We'll just say it's her friend, pretty much getting bit and the friend passing away. But, you have that survivor's, guilt where she didn't. So they do explore some of that in the leaked scenes that I've seen. So I look forward to actually watching the whole thing and putting it in its proper context.
Yeah. Oh, very nice. Well, all right. That is episode 342 in the books, folks. And we want to thank you guys for listening to the show, for liking, commenting, doing all the good stuff that you guys do. If you want to interact with us, and we know you do, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Rated G for Gamers. So please listen, like, rate, review, and subscribe. And as always,
keep gaming.